Okay, back again with real money trades for my masterclass over at simpleswitch.teachable.com. If you go over there and take my masterclass, it will get you up to speed on what I'm doing with this real money trading series, growing a small account in the futures market and with swing trading. And I chose the futures market to go with this because I don't have to worry about the PDT rule and I can day trade. In my masterclass, I take you from day one to I want to be a trader, then selecting a broker, opening an account, then teaching you how I build winning strategies that fits you. So I call it the PLG, personality, lifestyle, and goals. But not just that, strategies that have a proven statistical probability of success. Once we build our strategies, then we build a trade plan to go with those strategies. Two completely different things, traders. You need a good strategy and a good trade plan to be successful. Then I sim trade those strategies, and now we're into the real money trading portion of building a winning strategy. That is what this series is about. I plan on trading these accounts until the end of 2023, and we'll see how far we can grow them in 1 year's time. Now, I don't know if these strategies are going to be successful. We're going to find this out together, and if they're not, hopefully I can tweak them along the way to make them successful. I started my futures account with $1,700 because that was the bare minimum I felt like I could start with. And then I started my swing trading account with $2,000. Again, I felt that was the bare minimum I can start with. In my masterclass, I explain all these details and why I make the decisions, what you're seeing on the screens, the charts that you're seeing, all the tools, all that stuff. This class can benefit beginner traders and pro traders alike. I do trade with my algorithm, but you don't need that in order to benefit from my masterclass. You can trade with whatever tool it is for you. If you're thinking about taking somebody else's class, my masterclass can help you choose what other strategy might be right for you. This way, if you're going to spend a lot of money to buy somebody else's strategy, it would really be good if that strategy would fit you. And I teach you all about that in my masterclass, so go check it out. But for now, let's get into today's video. Okay, so we're back with MGC. So there's a long trade that's set up here. So we got our permission. I can get it at a little bit of a discount. It's still wanting to work its way down a little bit. So instead of just jumping in, I'm going to go ahead and put my order in right here above this candle. So which is pretty much right near the entry that we were expecting to get in. Yes, I'm giving up some profit to do that, but I think it's worth it to see if this is going to actually continue higher or does it want to make start going down lower. I'm also going to put in an alert, create an alert, at or below, so that if it breaks this, then I know as well, so that I could look at doing a speed bump play on it. So, and actually we'll move that up a little bit. So the thing with MGC right now though is I'm kind of nervous to trade it because we had, there's a lot of winners. I'm just going back in the chart here so you can see we had a winner here. And then this right here, which I took the markup off. That was a winner. Right here. Winner. Right here. Winner, right? So winner, winner, and then, yeah, winner right there. And then finally, all the way over here, we get to our loser. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 winners in a row. So this would be number 7 in a row. That's a lot in a row. So I'm a little nervous to trade it, but I need to just trade the numbers because if I don't trade it and we got 3 more winners, then I missed out on 3 winners I could pay for losers, right? So I just need to keep trading it even though right now, like, I feel like the odds are decreasing in my favor, right? Because there's so many winners, you got to have a loser in there somewhere. But I got to trade the numbers and I got to take those losers or those debits with those credits. It's part of the game. I got to pay to play sometimes. And if today I have to pay again, then I got to pay again. We just had to pay a lot recently. So hopefully we're done paying for a little while. But if I do have to pay, then I have to pay is what it is. So there's MGC. We got our trade sitting there waiting to get in. We'll have to see how this thing goes. And I'll update you as it happens. Okay, so with my strategies, and I think every strategy should have the same thing, you should be able to know what your risk is before you get in the trade. Like I know where my entry is, I know where my target is, I know where my stop is before I ever get in the trade. So then I can go ahead and know exactly what my risk is. So right now, if I were to jump into this trade right here on the shorts or to the long side and I have a loser, I would end up losing about $100. Let me show you real quick. over here in the My Strategy Manager, I would lose about $106 after commissions, $10 for the 2 contracts, 116. So that puts us right in the zone where we want to be. So I could jump in right here. If I wait until we're back up, let me show you. If I wait till we're back up into the target zone, I'd only be able to buy 1 contract because now my risk would put me around the $140 loss, which exceeds the scaling ladder. So I can't do that. I have to wait. I'd have to go with just 1 contract. But with it down here, it gives me a chance to jump in with that additional contract, and also my profitability could be pretty high on this trade. So this could be pretty awesome if this gives me another chance to get in around the 190 number, which is right where this was, is when I was like, oh, I'm going to make a video and talk about it first, when I probably should have just jumped in or move my stop down to get in. But we'll see. Maybe I got lucky. If not, I'll just end up with 1 contract. So I'm going to go and see what we do here. Okay. All right. So there we go. Sliding down. So I'm going to move my entry down to the 190 area as soon as we get a little more space on it. See what this candle does. It's going down first, which is kind of nice. All right. So now I'm at 1890. So if I can get in around here, then my risk reward becomes pretty nice. So we'll see if we get in there or not. And I say it's going down first, which is nice because then if it's going to create anything, maybe it's going to create a tail and then boost. If it goes up first, then maybe it's creating a wick and then it's going to tank, right? It could go up and down for a while so it picks a direction too. But a lot of times when I see that, it makes me feel better. All right, cool. So we're down even more. So we'll see how low this thing's going to go. If I was home and on the computer and saw this, okay, there we go. So we're in at 18899, so that's awesome. So put that in the My Strategy Manager, 188. All right, so with that risk, we're looking at about $114 is a risk. Okay, so we're in. So if I had seen this at the setup and I entered at the time that this confirmed, I would have only been able to enter with 1 contract. But if it retraced enough, I might have been able to add another contract because then my average could have been 188 or 1890. Basically risking around $100. So there was always an opportunity to get in with a second that second contract as it retraced. So I can average this as well. Not that it would have happened, but it's possible. So I say that because sometimes I get bummed. I'm like, oh, I can only get 1 contract when I can afford more. I should be buying more. But I have to remind myself my scaling ladder is important. I have to follow those. And there could be an opportunity for me to get that second contract with a lower average that works out with the risk reward ratio, which then could give me a bigger profit too. So anyway, so here we are. So we're in this trade. We're going to put the OCO order in with a speed bump on it. The 122 you're seeing here is from the last trade that we had today. That was in the previous video. So that's why you see 122 there. P&L open is what's happening right now. P&L day, again, isn't really profit that you put in your pocket. It's just kind of what moved in that day. You could see profit here. Like, I could have P&L day 118, but actually it was a red trade. Because I got in 3 days ago or something like that. And today just happened to be up $118, but it might still be down 500 overall. So a little deceiving with Thinkorswim. If you're watching anybody's trading with Thinkorswim, you can kind of disregard their P&L day unless they're day trading and they're entering and exiting within the hour. And then even then, it's not going to show you just that trade. It's going to show you whatever trades were that day, cumulative with that ticker. So just for those of you who don't use Thinkorswim, so you know. All right, so we got 50 there. I'm in long, so I'm going to buy to get out. So, and again, as I'm moving up and down this order entry box over here, on the chart, you can see the line moving up and down. So it kind of tells you on the chart too where you're at, which is kind of nice. But all right, so we'll put this in, and then we're going to drag this up to the target, and then the stop right there. Cancel replace, so I can put 4 in that number. All right, so now we got 4. So when it comes down to here, it'll end up selling the 2 contracts I have and selling 2 more, so I'll end up short in the trade. Now I'm going to mark on my chart where I got in, so it's just easy to see. So 18,899 right there, and I always try to make this line touch the candle I was at when I entered, just to make it even easier for me to see. So there we go. So our trade is in. It's all marked up. Hopefully this is going to be a winner. We can get back to where we're going. So if this is a full winner, if we hit our target all the way up there, 1898.6, we should be looking at $164, which will definitely help out with the scaling ladder situation and get us back on track. Will it give it to us, or will we take a loser and go the wrong direction? Right now, it looks like a loser, but we'll see. All right, bring the conclusion to you.
Close your eyes. Now you can see it.
All right, so here we are. I'm missing the move actually right now. I think I'm going to go ahead and, let's see. Let's give it a couple seconds. And I'm going to show you what I'm doing and why. Let's see what we got here. Notice I have number 4 on here because I have 2 contracts short and there's 4 to buy back. So I'm basically going to reverse my trade at the price I want to reverse it at, which is basically the best price possible here. So I'm going to trail this down a little bit here. All right, cool. So now I'm at the price that I want to have. All right. So I'm going to leave it there, and then we'll see what it does. We got about 7 minutes left on this candle. So we'll see if this thing wants to collapse or does it break out. All right, so here's the thing. So this, okay, there we go. So we reversed a trade. You see that? So now we're in 2 to the long side. Okay, so right here we had this long trade set up, and we came down and got stopped out, right? When we got stopped out, it also triggered a short trade. That short trade has come up and stopped out. So that's 2 losing setups in a row, which is rare for MGC to have. Definitely extremely rare to have 3 in a row. I don't know that it ever has had 3 in a row, or at least not in like the last 6 months. So there's that 3rd setup right here. So the odds are way high that this is going to be the target. So I could have left my speed bump the way it was, but I didn't want to do that because the odds of this new setup being successful are so high that I need to go with the odds. So there we go. We speed bumped this trade, and then we're looking for a target right in here, and then we'll see how that thing, see how it all plays out. If I were speed bumping this short trade, let's see. Just curious where it plays. So it'd be about half of this. It was a full move on a speed bump from that short trade. But right here, we also have this resistance area right here. Clearly, you can see right now it's still resistance, right? So once we break out of that, the next real resistance area could be in this zone right here. Then again, we might have a little bit of trouble here, and then we could be off to the races once we get above this high. So there is a good potential for MGC, which is a gold ticker, to have a full breakout here to a new high, but it's going to have to get over these areas. But these areas are very close together, so as it breaks through them, it may be a lot easier to carry momentum and get through each one. So we'll have to wait and see how this thing, like I said, plays out. But this is where we're at. So let's go put the OCO order in, and we'll update to my strategy manager with all the craziness that's taking place right now. I'll tell you, traders, at the end of this video, either way, the count is not going to be looking good. It's going to be pretty ugly, I think. But we'll see. We'll see when we get there. All right. So this is what I talked about in that other video. It gets scary when you have all these losses. You're like, oh, I need to sit on the sideline. I'm going to sit on the sideline because I'm scared, right? But if I do that now and I have these winners and I get back into a bunch more losers, my account blows up. But not me, I'm not worried about it because I know how it all works out. But just odds wise, you know, I've been trading for a long time, so I'm good with it now. But the way I used to feel a long time ago would be, and I'm sure you probably feel this way now if you're a new trader, is if I take a loss on this and then I speed bump and I take another loss, man, I'm gonna have like such a devastating day on my account. I don't want to have that. So what we find ourselves doing is avoiding an emotional feeling, because we want to avoid that disappointment feeling, that feeling of losing, right? Because we look at it as losing rather than just debits and credits, paying to play, etc. We also want to preserve our account, and we're like, oh, I'm going to blow up my account if I keep going. And depending on your strategy, that might be right. But when you know what your strategy is, then you can make decisions based on the strategy, not on your feelings, you know? With your strategy, if that's the case, like if it's not working for you that day, it means because the market's not working for your strategy, and because of the strategy you need to stop, then that makes sense. If you're failing because you're making mistakes emotionally and you need to stop because mentally you're not there, that makes sense. But for my strategy, stopping is not the right thing. It's making sure I take the next setup. So because the odds are in my favor, every time there's a losing trade, the odds increase in my favor that the next one's going to be a winning trade. So for each loser, I have a higher probability of success coming. So I cannot stop. I need to keep on going. And it's actually that much more important that I take those next trades, which is bad because if you get like 2 in a row and you're like, man, I want to go to bed. And this ticker, I vetted it for every 24 hours is how this one's supposed to be traded, even though I won't trade it overnight. But now I'm stuck up late because I really need to take that next trade because the odds are so high that it's going to be successful. So we'll see how this thing plays out, and I'll bring the conclusion to you, and then we'll show you What did we do to the account today? All right, so let's look at what happened. So just going to recap real quick. Then we're going to go to my strategy manager and you can see what took place. So over here, we took this trade to the long side. You know, it came down, speed bumped it, and it went straight loser, right? Which is very rare on speed bumps. So straight loser, and is what it is. So that took our first loss, which cost us $116 after commissions. So then while we're in the speed bump, though, I switched over to the new trade right here, which was, you know, the trade activated here, but actually switched into the trade right here. So which was a smart move, right? As I said, a new setup's taking place. Probabilities in my favor, all those losers. And the thing is, before we even get started, I showed you I had 7 winners in a row, and I'm like, oh, you know, I don't want to sit on the sideline and miss out on 3 more winners to wait for the loser. And it ended up being right when we got in. So of course, that's how it goes. So anyway, so yeah, so we had all those winners in a row, and I didn't trade them, or this account would be like in, you know, way into the next scaling ladder. So it'd be awesome. So unfortunately, you know, when you don't trade the winners and you only trade the losers, it's not good. So here we go. So then we get into this, you know, this new trade. We enter here, and then we get out here overnight while we're sleeping. So fantastic, right? Recovering some of the account. Awesome. Then I wake up this morning and start getting my little one ready for school, and I see this short trade set up right here. And I was like, oh, I should take that real quick. I'm literally like, we're late. Like, we're running late. So like I run in here. I make the trade. I put my OCO order really fast, and then I run out to try to continue getting her ready. Then I get alerted that this trade is, you know, hitting the speed bump. So here's the thing. When I run in and see this green candle, normally, as you saw in my other trades, I won't just jump in. I'll trail it, or I'll put my entry in down and make it come back down, showing me that it wants to go down before I get in. But I didn't have the time to do that, so I just jumped into it. And it came up for a speed bump. And I wasn't able to put a speed bump in. I didn't know why. Something was going on, and I didn't have time to figure it out. So then when I was like, when the trade closes, I'll just come in and jump in. So trade closed, and then I tried to jump in speed bump, and I still couldn't do it. And by the time I figured out why, it was too late. I missed a move. So the reason why is sometimes when I do an OCO order over here, it'll put in 2 limit orders. I don't know why it does that. Occasionally, but it doesn't happen often, but occasionally it will happen. And if I erase one of the limit orders, a lot of times it'll still work. Well, sometimes if you don't erase the right limit order, then it doesn't OCO. Like, you just basically have 2 orders in. You have this order and you have that order. So I had an open order down here, and that's why it wasn't allowing me to speed bump, because I would exceed my buying power if both of those orders filled. So for now on, when an OCO order goes in and for some reason on Thinkorswim you get 2 orders that show up, 2 limits and 1 stop, I'm just going to hit cancel and put the order back in and start over, rather than taking the risk of erasing the wrong one and having open orders, because that could also be a disaster. So that ended up not being able to speed bump it, which would have recovered this losing trade here, right? It would have went wash, and we'd still be looking pretty good. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that. So with that said, this real money challenge is going more perfect than I could have imagined. The purpose of it is to show you the reality of trading. And if you look at the mistakes that I've made, including like this one right here, that could have been a wash and stuff like that, not trading the winners, only trading the losers, like a lot of the order entry mistakes, a lot of the mistakes have been made just this week alone. And then go back and look at my 60 to 70% win rate video, good or bad, here on YouTube. Then you can definitely start to see how important it is to have the proper win rate for your trading and for your strategy and for your trading plan. And you can see how easy it would be to blow up an account if you didn't. If I was trading with like a 65% win rate, like a lot of traders like, oh, I got this great strategy, 65% win rate, I would already be on the way to blowing up my account right now. Or maybe even blown it up already if I had that kind of win rate. But because I'm starting with, a high win rate, like in the 80s, 75, 80%, even a little bit better with depending on the ticker here. MGC, like the speed bump side, we're like in the 90% and stuff like that. Because I have that on my side, these mistakes don't hurt nearly as bad. So let's go over to the My Strategy Manager and see what's going on. There is kind of a trade setting up right now that I might want to jump into. What time is it? Okay, I got some time. All right, let's go look at the My Strategy Manager, and then we'll... So here's our trades. This is what started the train wreck right here, highlighted black. So that was our first loser. Then we took that overnight trade, which was a nice winner overnight. But before we got that one, we did the speed bump, which was here, which exceeded our risk loss, our risk management parameters. We wanted to be around the $100 range. So 140 was way too much risk on a speed bump to be taking. And I didn't use the tools. I didn't use my calculator or my chart my calculator or my order entry here to see that risk before I took the trade like I should be doing. So we end up giving away a lot more than we should have. So had I not taken that trade because it was too much risk, that's $140 I would not be down. And then when we took this trade this morning, had I been able to speed bump the trade, then I would have been good to go. So had I speed bumped it, we would have made $88. Let's remove this. This was what the speed bump would have been. So we end up with another $88 loss. It would have been a wash. So if I erase the $88 here and the $140 there, that's $240 that I did not have to lose in the last 24 hours, right? That's a debit that didn't have to come out of my account. So if we take that $240 that should not have happened in the negative, we would have another 2 bars still here, maybe even a third bar in here, and we'd be looking in great shape. But right now we're not. We're looking at, almost half the scaling ladder has backed up. We've lost 5 bars in the scaling ladder because of those mistakes. So what I'm hoping that you're getting out of this is the reality of trading is when you look at strategies, you think, and you look at a chart. Let's go back over there. And you look at a chart and you can go back and be like, oh, this is awesome. I'm going to make all this money. Look how easy this is. But there's a lot of little things that happen in trading that could totally destroy an account. That's why one trader can have they can be very successful, make millions of dollars with a strategy, and another trader's blowing up their account. Then they're never successful with that strategy. There's a lot of different variables that go in there. The biggest one is your PLG, which I talk about over at the masterclass over at simpleswitch.teachable.com. Your PLG is super important, and if you don't have the right PLG for the strategy you're going to trade, then it ain't going to happen. So there's almost no way you'll be successful with that strategy. So anyway, so here we're at. So now what do we do? What do we do from here? We're not doing good. So what do we do? Let's go back over here. So really, we still got 5 or 6 bars left. So we're doing good there. If I look at the My Strategy Manager and I look at what's going on, then I review the charts, most of this red is, trader induced, not strategy induced. So we're doing okay with the strategy. So then I have to ask myself, do I need to look at something different because I'm not able to do this right now, right? So far, I'm failing. What do I need to tell myself when I'm failing? The one thing is I shouldn't be taking trades unless I can focus on the trade, right? Stupid if I have to run in and out, and I can't focus and everything's rush, hurry, and I'm opening myself to mistakes. So I shouldn't be taking trades unless I can be focused on my trades. So that's the biggest thing right now for me is that. So that's I may miss a few more trades if I'm not going to be focused. And the second thing I got to tell myself is I shouldn't be talking first. I should be trading first. And right now I just missed an opportunity. I'll show it to you in a minute, which is also a little bit frustrating. But yeah, we'll see when we get there. So let's go over to the dashboard and see where we're at. So the combined account totals again started with 3,700. We're still at 5,900. We're still doing awesome for a small account growing. Futures trade, futures account 1,700 we started with. We're at 2,300, still in great shape. And then swing trading 2,000. We're still at 3,600. Nothing new there. So with a $100 risk reward area, 1,700 we're at 2,300. So we still got $600 to go before we get back to where we started, which is 6 losers in a row. That might sound hard. Traders like, oh, I'm not going to have 6 losers in a row. I have an 80% win rate. But if you're trading 6 tickers, what if all those have a loser right now? And you have a 90% win rate, right? And they all have that one loss. Boom, you're right back to where you started. So the number of tickers you trade can make things a little tricky if they all have a losing streak at the same time. Whereas if I'm just trading one ticker, it's a lot easier to say pretty confidently I'm not going to have 6 in a row. Then the second part of that is, will I take all the winning trades that are coming, or am I going to find myself taking the losers and missing out on the winners? That could also be a detriment, right? So I just got to be really focused right now with the account where it's at. Make sure I'm taking all the trades that pop in that are available. and doing the right thing so that we can get this account back on track. But the purpose, like I said, the purpose of this is to show you the reality of trading, and this is the reality of trading. And this is the part where traders start to get in their head mentally and self-destruct, and then it's game over. Like, screw it, I'm just all in. I'm not going to sell. I'm not going to use a stop. I'm, whatever it is. I'm going big. Forget about my scaling ladder, and they start to have a mental breakdown. And this is where mental fitness really matters in trading. So you got to stay focused. And if you have tools like the My Strategy Manager to look at, where you can go look at your scaling ladder and be like, actually, we're still in good shape. We're still doing pretty good. So I'm not too worried about it. I just got to get back on the horse, stay focused, do what I'm doing, and I can get to these locations, right? And I can get here still. It's not game over. But if I don't have like something visual to look at, for me anyway, then it makes it that much harder for me to convince myself that everything is good. And I'm getting into that emotional spiral, and then we self-destruct ourselves, and then it's game over, right? So that's why, for me, it's really important to have that. And then I can come over here and look and see, I couldn't speed bump. I messed up my OCO order, down in here. So I can see my notes and start to look at what's going on. And that kind of helps me out too. I'm like, oh, all right, got it. And then, and even the dashboard, just looking at the dashboard and looking at my February, I'm like, I can do this again. I just got to stay focused, and all this will start to become more like this, and we're good. I'm good. So those are the kind of things that I use to help me mentally stay focused. But let's go look at this other trade that's setting up. All right, so here we are back in the futures market with the MES on Sniper. So we do have a setup right here on Sniper. Wrong tool. It's just the bottom of that candle, barely a tower candle. So I could definitely trade it. I'm gonna put my stop just below that candle right there. So we could get in here at a discount, which is always nice, to the long side. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I got my one contract, which is what I can afford. I'm going to buy it. Since we're already on the red side going down, I'm going to go ahead and put my entry in right here so we can see where it is in the target. And let's make this thing come back up in order to be able to get me in the trade. If it wants to, there we go. Now we're in. As I said, if it wants to keep going down, then we'll just let it keep going down and we'll get in later. All right, so we're in on Sniper here. So I'm going to go ahead and put my OCO order in right now. And I'm going to speed bump it. Okay, so there's our target. And then our speed bump, we're going to put in just below that candle. And again, speed bumping for me is like a whole nother strategy. It just doesn't happen very often because I don't have a whole lot of trade setups and losers with Sniper. So, I might get a couple of these speed bump opportunities every month or so. So I don't do it as a standalone strategy because I wouldn't hardly ever have any trades. But it is a really high success rate when it does happen. So speed bump is in as a separate strategy, but that's a strategy we'll play as well. And then our Sniper strategy is kicking right here. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this trade. I'll bring the conclusion to you. All right, so for the technical traders out there, let's have a little fun with this. Let's see. So if we were to draw a trend line, would you put that trend line here? Would you put that trend line here? Would you say that it was actually right through here? Probably, right? Because this is where more of the touches occurred, or somewhere in this area here, because you have more contact with it. So maybe you'd say it's trending there. A lot of different places I could put this trend line. If we were slowly growing this, if we were watching this trade take place over days, we might say the trend line is actually through here because of these points, these contact points right down here. So if that's the case, then we're really close here. Either way, if any of these trend lines are it, then it looks like, we could be bouncing off a trend line here and making a new high. But if we come over here and we look at this, yeah, we could have said it was here. We broke out above it, right? But for fun, we're going to move it here. And then if we say that this area is a support resistance area, because we broke above this, we came back, tested it, right? Support, went up, hit this area right here, support, finally broke this area, came back up, retested it, resistance, broke out above it, came back down, couldn't close below, couldn't up, so it had some little bit of support in this area, if you will, and then moved its way back up. We also have a high and a lower high, right? And then are we making another lower high? But then we also have higher lows. So we have a low, a higher low, kind of a lower low, but then we get a higher low. So there's more of a consolidation flagging pattern taking place. This is basically what I'm getting at. So with all this monkey business and craziness, What do you think happens here? Do you think it goes sideways and down into this, or all the way to this channel line? Do you think it comes back down to this line and then goes up? Or do you think we're at the point of breakout and it's going to break out to the upside or to the downside? What do you think is going to happen with this trade based on a technical side looking at the chart? Just a little fun. I know you don't get a whole lot of time to think about it because it'll be like 3 seconds in this video, and then you'll know what happened because I'm going to hit pause and then start recording again. We're on the 4-hour candle, so if I just let this run, this could be for like, could be like a 10-hour video. So yeah, so what is going to take place here? So we shall see. We shall see. My speed bump is right on this support line, right? So, or is that support line actually down here? Or is it really down here? Because you have this, and then you, right? Or all of these support lines. And then how strong are they? And then is there any kind of data to back up that based on what's happening with the candles? You can see where technical analysis can become a bit difficult and also open itself up to subjective viewpoints and confirmation bias, making it pretty difficult to trade on for new traders. And I think the reason why some experienced traders, very experienced traders, I've seen like the charts, like thousands of hours in the charts, can have more success with technical analysis, is I think after you watch charts, like thousands and thousands of hours of watching charts and seeing the trades actually play out, not looking at charts back here where like you can kind of see what already happened, but when you're here watching them play out, is you start to build some instincts. And I think those instincts, based on the accumulation of all the stuff that you've seen, your brain is becoming more instinctual and helps you avoid some of that confirmation bias and that subjective viewpoints, and helps you make better decisions with better judgment based on your instincts from what you've seen, provided you've developed good instincts. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. We'll see how this trade plays out. All right, so here we are with another debit. But we are speed bumped, so we're going to mark up the speed bump, which goes from this line. Oh, wrong. Mark up the speed bump that goes from this line to this line. Put my OCO order in. Put my stop to make a new high, if you will. I'm going to move my target down here, and then put a alert in here so I can start trailing a stop. All right, there we go. So we'll see where this thing's going to go. Will it come back down to these levels for support? Will it just reverse and go straight back up and we'll take a double loser, if you will? Or where will it end up? Algo probabilities say we should end up here, at least here, but most likely here. And then we'll see if we can get some more out of it. So anyway, so there you go. Trade is in, speed bump's in. And then, yeah, I don't speed bump a speed bump. So, yep, trade will just sit there, and then we'll see what this thing does. I'll bring the conclusion to you. All right, so I got my alert on my phone, my text message from Thinkorswim letting me know we had hit this target. But by the time I came back in, we already pulled back up a little bit. This candle closes in about 15 minutes, so chances are it will leave a tail like it likes to do, right? Sometimes it doesn't, but most of the time it does. I'm going to go ahead and put my stop in. Going to cancel anything that I have open, cancel all. So that's why I don't have to worry about it. Everything got canceled. Now I'm short, so I'm going to buy it back. So I'm going to put my order in for 41.2275, and it wants to back up and get me out. Then we get out. It's a speed bump, right? A speed bump is to recover a portion of the loss. If we can get all of it, awesome. But, you know, we are recovering quite a big chunk. So we took an $88 or $105 loss in this trade. So if we can get back $86, then that's fantastic, right? So then it's a very small drawdown. But we'll see. Maybe we get lucky and this thing keeps pushing lower and we can get a full recovery and maybe even some nice profit. Okay, so now we are out. Oh, no. I thought we were going to have a green trade or turn everything. Well, it was a green trade, but I was hoping that this would be a green, turn green on the day, not down $1.25. Oh, well, is what it is. But we got out right there at the bottom at 419.00. Now it's still going to continue down lower, of course, because we're out. So let's go put that in the My Strategy Manager and see what that does for us. Okay, so we ended up getting out at 419 or 4119 even. And now it's down like another $3. So that's a bummer. All right, so here we are with the My Strategy Manager. So we end up, after that trade, you know, we had 3 trades in there. So we end up just down $99. All right, so we're just down $99. Let's go to the scaling ladders. And now we're down another bar. So from this sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars down from where we were. Slowly going down. Slowly going down, just like this right here. Wish we were still in it, making some money. We'd be in profit right now, probably another $40 or $50 in profit, actually. 19 to 16, that's three, not really. So it'd be like $20 in profit, potentially somewhere in that area right now if we were still in. But I'm not going to FOMO and jump back in. I need to wait for another trade. So this wants to keep coming down. It may trip us short on the sniper play, and then we'll trade sniper to the short side. But, you know, I have to wait for a trade setup. I can't just FOMO into this. All right, so let's go back to the My Strategy Manager. So not great on the scaling ladders, that's for sure. So, again, combined account 3,700. Now we're down to 5,956. It used to say 6,000. So it's now it starts to sting a little when that when that goes down to 5,000. But we're still up, you know, $2,000 in this overall account. So combined account anyway. So again, 1,700 in the futures market. 2,291 is where we're at. So in swing trading, unchanged at 36.65. So February is turning out to be a red month, but we'll see, right? We're down $500 right now in February. We'll see. We got a little bit of time left. I will be missing a lot of trades next week, so I don't have a whole lot of time, but we got enough to make it maybe squeeze out a green month. So we'll see. Like I said, we got a plan for red days, red weeks, and red months. And February might be our red month. Oh, no. All right, we'll see. All right, everybody, we'll bring the next trade to you. Okay, so here we are with the MES in the futures market on the sniper strategy 4-hour candle. So we do have a trade that confirmed right here on this candle to the short side. And then this candle is only about almost $1 off. So we're not really missing it by much. So we're going to go ahead and jump in short. One contract. So we're in short. Now we're going to put our OCO order in. Okay, so here we are the next morning. So waking up to money, money, money. So this was the trade right here. Came down nicely. And overnight hit its target right here. Actually, we did that yesterday, and then right here. So let's see, right there you can see the white line going down. So in the close of this candle is the entry, and then we're able to take that ride down, get the target, make some money. Unfortunately, I just walked into the office and just missed this move on red light, green light. I'll show it to you in just a second. But let's go over to the My Strategy Manager and see where we're at. So here's My Strategy Manager, and this is yeah. So this is the trade right here that I just showed you that we just closed in sniper. Yep. So there we go. So that's going to close out our day yesterday at $9.50 in profit after commission. So pretty awesome that we're able to turn that into a green day. What does that do to the scaling ladder? Scaling ladder, we get some bars back. So now we're only 3 down. So maybe we can recover those today, although we're already missing out on that opportunity to do that. So let's go over to the dashboard here. So again, 3,700 starting combined. That's between swing trading and futures. Now we're back above $6,000. I like that. I don't like to see that 5 right there. So 6,065, and then futures trading 2,400 is where we're at right now in that account, and 36.65 in swing trading. Let's go back over to the charts. Okay, so here we are in the 30-minute chart with red light, green light with the MES in the futures market. So, I was supposed to enter this trade right here. I just walked in literally like a couple minutes too late. And this move already started going kind of fast. So, yeah, is what it is. I could have gotten a nice discount had I walked in a little earlier. And then it started ripping. So, you know, unfortunately, I won't be able to take this trade unless it does have a big retrace. But now that I already hit this target, it's pretty much a dead trade for a red light, green light trade on the MES because of the way we have to trade it right now. If it does reject and go the opposite direction, I can speed bump this thing. So, you know, the hardest part, traders, is trading all available opportunities based on the trade plan. And if I'm only choosing to trade the losers and I'm not trading the winners, then it's hard to be successful. And right now, I just let another winner go. So this was a winner based on the first target, already hit. And yeah, that's too bad.